First at noon, we're tracking Hurricane Melissa.
And right now you can see the imagery of the eye that is about to move on shore. The first part of the eye wall already has. Now remember, landfall is official when half of the eye has moved ashore. So landfall at this point is imminent. Here's the imagery of the entirety of the storm. This is a monster hurricane currently barreling into Jamaica.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Ryan Medeiros.
And I'm Christina Shalhoub. And Ryan, it's all about Hurricane Melissa right now. This storm is top of mind, and it's going to be a huge concern, not just for Jamaica, but the Caribbean.
Pretty much, like you said, as we speak at this moment. Let's take a look at some of those live cameras around Jamaica. Melissa now has winds of up to 185 miles an hour. And at last check, there were 240,000 people without power on the island.
Yeah, conditions are deteriorating quickly with winds, again, like Ryan said, of 185 miles per hour, gusts up to 120 miles per hour. An absolute nightmarish situation for this hurricane. Already at least 3 people have been killed during preparations as power lines sparked and homes started taking on water. The island's also bracing for up to 40 inches of rain and storm surge up to 13 feet. I want you to think about that for a second. How tall are you, right? Let's say I'm 5'2", for example. That storm surge rather is more than double my height. Think about that as you're on the island of Jamaica. Now, the National Hurricane Center warned people of the potential for, quote, total structural failure.
What we're looking at is a protracted period of rain, which will lead to flooding, and significantly high winds that will be devastating.
Authorities are urging people to stay inside and hunker down until the storm passes. They say rescue and cleanup efforts will only begin once it's safe. Now, this is the 4th storm in the Atlantic Basin this year to undergo rapid intensification. In fact, Melissa has already secured its place in history as one of the strongest hurricanes on record. So let's go through some of the details here. The storm right now currently moving north-northeast at 9 miles per hour. And as mentioned, landfall is essentially happening at this moment. It will become official when half of the eye has moved ashore. This is just north of the town of Black River, Jamaica. And this is going to be a catastrophic event for the island. Again, winds 185 miles per hour, gusts of 220. This storm has already made history. It is now tied for the 3rd strongest storm on record. The first, based on barometric pressure here, is Wilma. The second is Gilbert. And the Labor Day hurricane and Melissa are tied for number 3 with that pressure at 892 millibars. You guys, that surpasses Katrina. And for reference, the winds in this storm have also surpassed those of Katrina as well. A devastating situation for Jamaica, and of course we'll be here to track everything that happens for the island and beyond as the storm continues its movement. But let's get back to your local forecast for a second. We'll talk about what's happening here at home, as I know plenty of you want to get out the door. Temperatures right now largely in the low 50s and upper 40s. It's 48 right now as we look to North Kingstown. It's 52 as we look to Providence, and 53 in Newport at the moment. Winds kind of howling a little bit out of the north-northeast, and that's exactly what we expected today. Those wind speeds in the teens, even some reaching 20 miles per hour, gusts up into the 20s. And that's doing a couple things. First of all, it's making it feel cool. Second of all, it's bringing some cloud cover in, as you can see on the Providence sky cam here. Little bits of sunshine, but the clouds starting to overtake the sky and doing more of the same as we look toward that radar imagery, that satellite and radar imagery here. Not looking at any rain at the moment, but a few ocean effect showers not out of the question as we move through tonight as well. So that's something to watch for if you head out the door. Nothing that's going to ruin your day, but something to really keep in mind as we're getting to the second half of our Tuesday. Now, we'll have more on Melissa and your local forecast coming up in your full forecast in just a few minutes.